Welcome back from the learning team, part 3 of the Digitech session 1. This is where we actually look at managing the files. This is where there's some technical stuff. There is an accompanying guide, written guide and a video guide to step you through all the processes taken here. This is an overview of the process. Please do not panic. There are guides to help you step by step. So the first skill we're going to look at is actually managing the sync. It's your computer, your files, your OneDrive. You need to know how to ensure it's working, so the first sign there could be a problem, you can seek help or use one of the simple tips here to help you. So as we went through before, the process of syncing is just making sure the files, because remember we're keeping everything on your hard drive now, the files that every time you make a change, anywhere you are, that the sync is happening, so they're backed up to the cloud, available anywhere. And so your job is to make sure that everything's working properly, and if it's not, to seek help the moment you want any advice. The tools to use it is called the sync client. We're going through that process. Now the sync client is a very, very handy thing to have running on your computer, and is very extremely useful to know how it works. Remember, we've done a migration where we've done that first time move, so we want to make sure that first time has happened. From then on, things should be smooth with just a few major checks. We should all be fine. So firstly, we need to check our sync client has any errors. Sync client is actually part of your Windows File Explorer, the same file explorer you've always used to get to any file anytime, regardless of where it is. Also now works with OneDrive. When I open up File Explorer, I have something that looks like this. One of the tabs on the right hand side is all my files, and in the left hand side is the list of all the places my files are. One of those places is called OneDrive Catholic Education, and this has a little tiny cross next to it to me something's wrong. It's a bit hard to see. If I zoom it up a bit now, you can see it's the cloud symbol. It says OneDrive Catholic Education, but the important thing is that cross there. So that is saying the status of my sync is currently bad. This is what you need to look out for. Anytime this happens, seek advice or try one of these tips here. Other two symbols that you'll see, they're good statuses. You'll either see the green with a tick, that means everything is completed and synced, or you'll see the blue in progress symbol, which means, hey, everything's okay, but it's just doing a sync at the moment to make any changes you've made available. Now, it's mostly the files that we're worried about. The cloud gives you the overall, but what we'll be looking for is the individual symbols on files or folders. They're the same symbols, they just appear on the files or folders. So we're hoping always to see green ticks or blue sync symbols to tell us that everything's going on. So if we have a quick look here, you can see my OneDrive folder here. It's a bit hard to see, but it's blown up. We've got a symbol here. It's got the cloud. It's got the tick. So it means the entire OneDrive is good. Everything is going. So let's have a look at what causes these bad sync status to happen. So whether it's a file or folder or the cloud, we get the red cross. We are concerned. We want to make sure everything is running all the time. The most common causes, there are 3 of them. One of these characters in a file or folder name will cause it to not sync. These are termed illegal characters, and they shouldn't be used. Most often, 90% of cases, one of these appears. Our most common one is a hashtag. One of the outputs from sector, if you do anything from there, we'll put a hashtag in the file. So you just need to rename that file, everything goes fine. The second most common, that's probably about 10% of the remaining, is extremely long file names. The entire path, including files. So when you've got folders and folders and folders and folders and folders, you get the idea. Include all of the names of those folders and the files. Can't be more than 400. It's very rare, but it does happen when people aren't managing their files and are getting very, very deep, very, very deep files. So we need to make sure maybe a bit of reorganization, breaking those files, having a flatter structure would help. And there's some really random little things here. So as I said, 90% of the causes are those characters. Probably about 9% are those folders that are too deep, and then these are extremely random. There's just some names that the system won't allow you to use. These are old, built into Windows for years and years and years. And if we happen to have cause one of those, it doesn't work. Very, very rare. More common is the tilde. Some files come with a tilde on the front of it, or folder name with a tilde. It used to be used a lot in the olden days. It's not supported anymore. So once again, let's fix some of these problems. So let's open up our File Explorer. For example, double click on the File Explorer, and here is our File Explorer window. I'm viewing the part here in the left hand column where you can see my OneDrive Catholic Education folder, and it's got some errors. Hard to see, but remember we're looking for that little symbol there. I can see a touch of red there, but it looks like this, the big symbol there. Now, straight away as I'm looking at this, although it shows my OneDrive is not working, in the right hand window you can see the list of folders and files in my OneDrive. And straight away there I can see there's a red cross next to the folder marked Maitland. Always a problem, it seems. So there's something wrong with this folder. I can see lots of green ticks elsewhere, meaning everything else is fine, everything else is syncing. This red folder has the problem. So I'll click on that folder. Now when I click on that folder, it opens up again. There's a bunch of files in there. Some are syncing, some are synced. That looks good. But there's a folder in there that has a red cross. So once again, I've located that the problem isn't everything. It's just in this folder here. So I've got to keep going, have a look inside there. So I've opened up this file, this folder here, and in there I can see some things. First thing, I've actually found a file with a cross. So this is a culprit. This is what not syncing. This will not exist in the cloud. If I want to access to it anywhere else, it will not work. So if I have a look at what could be the problem, if we have a look closely, I can see that the file name has a hashtag. So it's a Word document, hashtag 3. Hashtag file in the name stops it from syncing. So you can see here, it's just that little character there. So all I need to do is rename it. Simple like that. As soon as that's done, file immediately starts syncing and fixes it. So that file is now syncing, but you can see there's another folder here with a problem. So I'll go and have a look at that folder there, open it up, and this time I can see one other culprit in there. Interestingly enough, it's a copy of the same document. So clearly, in moving my files, I haven't done a very good audit because I've got a couple of copies of the same file all over the place. Same file, same problem. Hashtag in front here. So I just need to remove that. As soon as I remove that, the syncing starts. And if I have a look, the OneDrive is now fully synced and is working. Now, actually to help you, if you actually drag in a folder or a file with incorrect things, you'll most likely get a pop-up alert that says straight away the moment that you drag that file in there that there's a problem with something in here. And on this little alert that pops up, normally pops up to the bottom right hand side to say, hey, there's a problem here. It says click here for more info. So if I simply click on there, it'll open up a window that looks like this and tell me those exact problems. As you can see, I've done this with the same files. It's telling me, hey, there's two files that won't sync. And they're both copies of the same thing. It looks a bit confusing because they're both the same files. But remember, I had two copies of this file. So if I move over it with my mouse, as I hover over it, it actually shows me the exact file there. When I click on it, it takes me directly to the folder with the problem file. So here it's showing me the folder with the file that's got the problem. Same thing again. All I need to do is find the file that's got the cross, make the change, it will now sync, and I can go back there. I could now go click on the second file and do the same thing. If that file hasn't popped up, but you've got a red cross there, you can search through all your folders to find it. As you can see, it starts at the top and you work it through way till you find the file. Or I can simply open the File Explorer once again. I can notice that, hey, there's a little red problem there. I simply right click. So if you're using the trackpad, that's two fingers clicking. or if you're using a mouse, just click on the right button, and it opens up this dialog box where one of the things on the list says choose the view sync problems. So just have a zoom into that so we can see it. On the list there, you'll see one of the choices, view sync problems. When you click on that, exactly the same thing pops up, the same toolbox that came up before that says these are the files we found that can't be synced. If it's a simple solution, you can fix it yourself, by all means go ahead. But if you've found some errors and you're not confident in having a look at it, please pop down to some help desk and see if we can help you, or one of your colleagues may be able to help you. Once again, thank you from Digitech and the learning team. That's the end of this session.